Hi there, it's Dean Odell with 7 Gables Real Estate in the Odell Group. Today is August 26th, and look at this. We got our cameraman back. We're not on a Zoom call, right? So hopefully this one looks a little bit better than the last one. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about a change in the market. I'm seeing a change. The market has been very unhealthy. Let's hope it's going to start leaning the other way. Let me tell you what we're seeing out there. We're going to go over some charts. We're going to look at some historical stuff. It's going to be fun, especially for people like me that like numbers and analytics, right? So let's get started with Tustin Talks. Okay, well, as normal, we don't have enough inventory. Let's look at today's inventory, 2,828 homes. That is only up 9 homes since last month. Now, this is typically when we peak for the year. So we should see inventory start to go down from here. You will notice if you look at all the charts above, all the lines above, the only year that you saw it go up was in 2018. Now, why did that happen? Well, in 2018, rates were rising and people stopped buying. Things got too expensive too quick because rates were just making payments a lot more, right? So that's what we're gonna need for this market, quite honestly. Either that or this appreciation is just gonna, get out of control till there's no buyers left, right? So let's just look at where a normal market would be though. Looking at the yellow and the purple line, you could see between 7,000 and 7,500 homes is about normal. That green line below, that's after last year. We know last year was not a normal year, so we almost have to throw last year out and look at the previous 2 years. That means we're 60% down in inventory. Demand, okay? All these stories in the press, demand's down, demand's down. Well, of course it's down. It's down 115 homes. Why is it down 115 homes? Well, look at how low our inventory is. Of course it's going to be down. I mean, it's crazy. Look at where it compares to 2018, 2019. It's actually above the norm for this time of year when you look at the purple line and the yellow line. Now, last year's green line, that was crazy, but we know we were bouncing back from that big V you see when people weren't buying houses to suddenly everybody wanted to buy houses. So that was abnormal. So we're kind of returning to more of a normal demand pace, but what's killing us here is we just do not have the inventory. Hey, sorry to interrupt this program, but we want to make sure you are subscribed to Tustin Talk, so please click on the subscribe button below. And then if that doesn't work, just go to theodellgroup.com or you can go to youtube.com/Tustin Talks. Now let's get you back to the program. Going back to our favorite chart this week, here we have it broken down by price range for you. You can see almost everything is under 30 days until you get over 2 million. Pops up to 62 days, which is actually a little bit longer than we were at, as most of these expected marketing times have gone up about 10%. So there is a little bit of a slowdown. It is also seasonal time for the market to slow down, right? The kids are back in school. A lot of families aren't shopping for homes, don't want to move during school. So this is the time of year where we do see the expected marketing time start to go up just from a demand standpoint. So let's move on. This is just expected marketing time averaged. We've gone from 27 to 28 days since our last report. You can see how flat that red line has been this year. It's just been an extremely hot seller's market. Anything under 60 days considered a hot market. You can go back to those purple and orange lines and look at where they were right about now. They were right around the 80-day mark in a normal market, which would be, it was still slight sellers, but a lot closer to a balanced market. So we've got some ways to go there to get this thing back into check. So here's what I did here on this chart. I took, because I wanted people to see historically how inventory is compared to demand. Okay, so if you look at this chart, it's a great chart. It goes all the way back to 2004. The light blue is the active listings. The pending listings are the dark blue. Okay, so if you look at the comparison, let's look at, like, for example, 2006, 2007, when everybody knows that was when the market was starting to get into its nosedive. Look at how many homes we had on the market. Look at the light blue during that time. 17, 18,000 homes, right? Then look at where the dark blue was at that time. I mean, we were closer to only a 2,000 demand, 2,000 homes. We had like 8 homes for every buyer. Now, fast forward, go to the end of the chart on the right side, get back to kind of where we are now, and look at the light blue. The light blue has disappeared behind the dark blue, which means we don't even have enough listings for the demand we have. Okay, so our pending listings are actually more than the light blue. If you look historically at this chart back to 2004, that has never happened before. And so you can see that the listing inventory has been below the demand now, going all the way back to probably almost October of 2020 or so. So we have been in this market for a while now where our supply just keeps getting lower and lower and lower, and we do not have new sellers replacing these homes. So we are what you call in an inventory crisis. Now, looking historically, this is a similar chart to what we had before going back to 2004. This is our expected marketing time. Again, look at that 2006, 2007 period. It took us over 400 days was the expected marketing time to sell a home. Now go all the way to the right. We know, I just said it's 27, 28 days. Look at that compared historically, okay? We're in a fast moving market. So when people say, hey, the market's, gonna blow up anytime soon, this, that does not happen overnight. Follow these charts. You can see how long it takes for a market to turn around, okay? Remember, a balanced market is between 90 to 120 days, and you can look back historically and see kind of what's the fastest that's ever happened in, to go from 90, from where we are now to that time period, to gain another 120 days on the market or 90 days on the market from where we are now. It's going to take a big change in the market. But I told you we are seeing a change in the market, so I'm still going to talk about that. But I got one more final chart for you first, and this is Orange County distressed listings. I want you again to look at the left side of the chart starting in 2007, going to 2021, this last 14 years. Look at the distressed listing inventory. It is like literally non-existent, okay? So this whole talk about foreclosures are coming, it's just absolute nonsense. And like I said in the last Tustin Talks, we will revisit that in 6 months. It all comes down to supply and demand. We're not going to follow the hype. We're going to follow the analytics. So the reality is we are still in a very strong seller's market. But let me tell you real quickly what I've noticed change. So sellers, this is what's changing, and buyers, I know you guys want to know this as well. So here's what's changing. So now all the new sales comps are higher. We've been going through this phase since the springtime, basically, where we put houses on the market, they get bid up in price. Almost everything's getting bid up in price still. What's changed? The amount of offers we're getting, okay? You were hearing crazy stories, 10, 15, 20 offers. We are not seeing that anymore. Unless a property is greatly underpriced, a normal deal now, you're gonna probably, if it's priced right based on the comps, depending on the price range it's in, you're probably only gonna see anywhere between 1 to 4 offers, I would say. We've had, out of our last 5 sales, 4 of them have only had 1 offer on them, and one's had like 3 offers on them. And the reason that's happening is because we have these new comps to price now. So we're pricing higher, and some of these buyers are just out. They're not gonna pay these prices. So we're gonna have to see when that changes, right? We may be getting back to a point where the seller's not gonna have a choice from 10 different offers. So if anybody's still out there toting you that nonsense that that's the market and it happens on every deal, all I can tell you is here at the Odell Group, we're selling 2 houses a week. We are in the trenches, you guys. We know what's going on out there, and we know when there's a change or a signal in change. So now what we got to figure out is, are we changing because it's just the time of year? We got a lot of people out of the market, or what? We're just gonna have to keep monitoring this, but we still have to focus on supply and demand. It is still a seller's market. There's still a month's worth of supply. We got to get up to about 5 to 6 months for it to be a balanced market. So we have some ways to go. So buyers are gonna have to hang in there. If rates start going up, obviously that's gonna affect things quite a bit, like it did in that active listing chart I showed you earlier in this video. So It's hard to predict the future. All we can talk about is what is right now, and it's going to take some time for this to turn back into a normal market. So in the meantime, buyers, go for those long-term rates. If you know you're going to be somewhere for a long, long time, it pencils out that you're going to come out ahead if you're like the average Orange County homeowner that stays in their house 20 to 25 years. And sellers, again, not sure what you're waiting for. So let's get the house on the market. Let's get it priced right, and let's get it sold if you have somewhere to go. Okay, so if you don't have somewhere to go, maybe we can help you with that too. So give us a call. We'll get that house prepped looking good and get you some top dollar here in this market. All right, we'll see you on the next Tustin Talks. Bye-bye. Hey, don't forget the Odell Group is one of the top 10 teams in Orange County. We have sold thousands of homes. So draw from our experience and let us help you out. Subscribe right now and watch our videos to educate yourself whether you're a buyer, seller, or both. And then visit our website at theodellgroup.com and reach out. And let's get to know each other so we can help you. All right? Thanks. Bye-bye.